You's the one who break off running when they say the bus. So why you sitting before me, Joshua?
Being disrespectful.
What else? Boy, talk to me, boy, because I'm getting ready to jump in your chest.
For only being disrespectful to my parents.
Why? Talk, boy. Joshua, why you being disrespectful to your parents?
I was following my friends.
Your friends be rude to their parents?
So.
Huh?
So.
They be rude to their parents too?
So.
So, if they be rude to their parents, why you gotta be rude to your parents? You's a follower then? Huh? Yes, but you's a follower. Because I can't see they rude to their parents, so you gotta be rude to yours. That makes sense to you?
No, sir.
And you're smoking too?
No, sir.
Boy, stop lying, boy. You smoking, you're hanging over them people who smoke. So you smoking?
No, sir.
But don't lie to me. You lying. You's a smoker, and you like the bad company. You smoking and hanging with crowd. So you's puff, puff, pass then. That's what you are? You like when people take things out of their mouth, give it to you, you put in your mouth.
No, sir.
You got a rude behavior. And I see that from you being around me. So why your mommy can lie on you say you rude?
I just be rude. I just be rude. My sister was pick on me.
Your sister that was pick on you?
Yes, sir.
Well, what? Your sister that more than you?
Yes, sir.
So what you mean they just pick on you?
It's a polka dotted panda.
You's a polka dotted panda?
Because it's stuff on my skin.
Oh, so they just call you names. So how you feel with them calling you names?
What?
So because they just call you a polka dotted panda, you just curse them out. Huh? Joshua, I feel sorry for you because if you was on the street, you'd have been running and cursing me. You'd have been telling me off, hey. You just go to T.A. Thompson, so you just hang with them boys from being town. Who's go to T.A. Thompson, right? So, what gang that is?
I don't write no gang, sir.
Man, don't lie to me, bro.
I don't write no gang, sir.
You just go hang with them boys and be in town. Huh?
Sir.
So that means you've been Rupert Dean Lane hanging with them boys in Rupert Dean Lane. Because it tells me that you've been hanging out with them bad boys. So you trying to be a bad boy? Yes, yes. Joshua wants to be a bad boy. Joshua can't be a bad boy because Joshua named Joshua.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the Minister of Health announces an oncology center as a vital addition to the Freeport Health Campus. Plus, Ministers of Education and Works and Utilities touring ongoing renovations at the Jack Hayward Gymnasium. And the Minister for Grand Bahama doubles down on government's disapproval of the recent water rate increase. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, Grand Bahama will finally receive an oncology center. This, according to the Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Michael Darville, who revealed that the center's home will be the new Freeport Health Campus, located off East Sunrise Highway. While speaking with the media on Tuesday, Darville addressed the critical healthcare need on the island. Simone Davis has tonight's top story.
Ahead of the groundbreaking ceremony for the new Freeport Health Campus on Tuesday, Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, revealed that the inclusion of an oncology center is critical. He acknowledged that Grand Bahamians in need of cancer treatment have had to travel back and forth to New Providence or even seek treatment in other countries for years, and this new facility will provide them with accessible and specialized care right at home.
Well, oncology is definitely absolutely essential. We have heard the cries of residents of Grand Bahama going back and forth to New Providence for services. This new facility, which is a phased approach for the new hospital, will have an oncology center, and those days will be over for the residents of Grand Bahama once this facility is completed.
The rise in cancer cases among Bahamians is a concern for health officials, and the minister says understanding the factors contributing to this trend is essential to implement effective preventative measures. He explains why cases are increasing on Grand Bahama.
Cancer is one of the issues of non-communicable diseases. It is a concern for us, not only in the Bahamas, throughout the world. There's always been an issue in Grand Bahama because we're in the industrial capital of the Bahamas, that there may be an incidence of increased cancers in the region, particularly around the industrial sector.
Minister Darville also revealed that his ministry is actively conducting research to determine the reasons behind the increasing cancer statistics in the country.
When I was Minister for Grand Bahama, we did an extensive research through a university in Scandinavia who gave a report that the incidence in the area at this particular time is not a true reflection of what is going on only in that area, but it is a global phenomenon in the country that is associated with diet, possibly some environmental factors, and genetic predisposition, particularly those who are suffering from breast cancers. We are seeing incidents of breast cancers increasing in the younger age group, and we are definitely looking at it from a public health issue.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Simone Davis.
Meantime, the concern of a rise in the cancer rate also a major point of focus during the Cancer Association of Grand Bahama Comfort Haven annual seminar. Panelist Dr. Karis Thompson-Major shares why more Bahamians must be more aggressive when it comes to cancer prevention.
Most of our cases, unfortunately, is in oncology. We have seen a great uptick in cancer cases, and unfortunately in the Grand Bahama location, you'll see a lot of breast cancer, of course, cervical cancer, prostate cancer, colon cancer, and even the rarest forms of malignancies, and that's why we're here. We have the specialists in Baptist Health, and that's why we refer our patients over to Miami to get their services done.
Now, while there has been an increase in various types of cancer on this island, Baptist Health International representative in Freeport was on hand to provide vital information about Baptist Health International services. The local representative, Daniel Miller, said education is a key element in caring for patients.
Some of the other things that I want to highlight are some of the aspects about screening, about doing mammograms, about other options, who should be screened, when they should be screened. We also want to talk about clinical breast examinations. So the idea really is to highlight prevention, to highlight getting your screening done, to highlight getting your annual exams done. And this is all a part of cancer prevention, all a part of cancer awareness as we help to participate in this month's awareness activities.
Now, the theme for the evening, Together We Can Beat It, love, hope, and support. In other news, State Minister for the Public Service, Pia Glover-Roll, telling our ZNS News team that promotional exercises within the public service are ongoing, noting that the cries of some disgruntled civil servants will not fall on deaf ears. Here's that report.
Many public service workers who have given years of service without promotion will begin to feel relief as State Minister of Public Service Pia Glover-Roll made clear that promotions in the public service are ongoing. Glover-Roll admitted that over the years complaints have mounted from public servants who claim to have been overlooked, but she assures that the issue is being addressed.
We have recently put out a call circular for service-wide promotions that have been delayed for about 10 years, and we're also in the process of receiving recommendations. Many persons since we've come to office have received letters. It's an ongoing process. The Ministry of Public Service works from a place of recommendations. As ministries send recommendations for promotions, we process them.
She says a number of special units have been attached with the specific purpose of handling promotions, reclassifications, and confirmations within the public service. As for the Customs Department, according to the State Minister, the lion's share of promotions have already been processed.
Any promotions that we would have received in the public service in the ministry, we have processed. There are still persons who contact me directly and say they're still pending. And as persons contact me or the ministry, of course, we research their files. If there's resolution that can be brought in terms of requesting the recommendations from their ministry, then we move forward in that regard.
And as for the Department of Immigration, the process is similar.
Immigration would have clerical workers as well as officers. Officers' promotions are constantly being processed as we receive recommendations, and clerical workers will fall under the service-wide promotion that was recently called.
Last year, August, while giving an update on promotional exercises, she said that Customs and Immigration are not the only two government agencies her ministry is facilitating promotional exercises for, adding that although it is a mammoth task, many can attest to the fact that these issues are being remedied. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Thanks, Raven. Well, the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, once again expressing the government's strong disapproval of the recent water rate increase imposed by the Grand Bahama Utility Company, a decision approved by the Grand Bahama Port Authority last month. Moxie also weighing in on the conflict of interest between the two entities. Simone Davis reports.
The perceived conflict of interest surrounding the recent water rate increase decision has led many to question the fairness and transparency of the process. However, the Grand Bahama minister asserted that the company was able to make that decision on its own due to the existence of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement.
The regulator regulated themselves. And so that actual agreement is something that has existed for a long time, since 1955 with the signing of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement. And it's one where the Grand Bahama Port Authority is the regulator, but their sister company, Port Group Limited, owns Grand Bahama Utility Company. And so there's the obvious conflict there, and it's something that is actually an act.
Minister Moxie emphasizes the need for independent oversight in such matters to ensure the best interests of the residents are prioritized with other companies as well.
Of course, we do not agree with any type of increase at this time. We are still hurting. You know, businesses are trying to recover. Individuals are trying to get their lives back together, and it's been tough. And, you know, the water is still not the best quality. And so we do not agree with it, but it happened because they happen to be the regulator. And so there is actually a case right now that's going on with the power company and ERCA, where they're trying to establish who the regulator should be. And so we'll see how that plays out. But again, you know, the government, we are really just looking out for the best interests of the people who are still trying to make ends meet.
The Grand Bahama minister also highlighted another important issue regarding the Grand Bahama Port Authority's powers. While the GBPA has the authority to demolish abandoned and vacant buildings, the associated cost of such actions fall on GBPA itself.
There's been environmental bylaws that have been proposed over the many years from various administrations, and that is something that our government is viewing right now. We're reviewing it, and we should be coming to a decision pretty soon. One thing, though, that I want to clarify is that there is no reason that the port cannot demolish a structure. It's more about the cost associated and for the port to be able to recover the cost. So if you look at it in its completeness, the Port Authority is the city managers. And with that comes the responsibility of the maintenance of the city. And so the bylaws does not stop the Port Authority from being able to demolish a building. It's more about the cost involved.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Simone Davis.
Well, the Minister of Education, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, and the Minister of Works and Utilities, the Honorable Alfred Sayers, touring the Jack Haywood Gymnasium. It was an opportunity for them to get a closer view of the ongoing renovations. Jay Philippe reports.
The Minister of Works and Utilities, the Honorable Alfred Sayers, the Minister of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, the Honorable Glennis Hannah Martin, along with the delegation touring the Jack Hayward Gymnasium, which has been under renovation since early last year.
I'm very pleased to see the progress. There are one or two change orders which have to be made, but separate and apart from that, the work is progressing well.
According to Sayers, the gym is expected to be completed within the next 4 weeks.
There are other aspects of the works which are very long lead items, such as the appropriate floor and ensuring that it meets the specification for basketball tournaments, international competitions. And as you stated, it's a multi-purpose facility. It serves the purpose of the school in terms of educational and athletics. It also serves as a community center for community activities.
With the 2023 hurricane season fast approaching, the completion of the gym will also serve as a safe harbor for the community as a hurricane shelter.
These multifunctional use are all integrated in the design so that it can be robust for the various purposes for which it is intended.
Now, with mock exams and BGCSE examinations scheduled to take place at the school, Principal Melissa Cooper says plans are in place to sit those exams in the gym.
So what we've already done is we've already put in place that we will use part of the campus, kind of shut down school just for that hour and a half. It'll be home base, and then our students will be able to take their exams. So although we don't have the gym, things have not stopped. We are still moving forward with our plans for the BGCSE examinations.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jay Philippe.
Well, during the government's cabinet meeting on Grand Bahama on Tuesday, the Minister of Works and Utilities, the Honorable Alfred Sayers, addressed the mounting concerns raised by Abaco residents regarding the deteriorating conditions of the island's roads, including a national road patching and paving program that includes that island.
Currently, we're working on the dock area in Marsh Harbor, the crossing dock. It is a major transit point for persons going to the Keys and coming from the Keys. We have also rehabilitated the Crown Haven dock, and we have a major undertaking in Moores Island where the fisherman dock as well as the mailboat dock is being rehabilitated along with road works.
The minister emphasizes that the government has a comprehensive plan in place to address road conditions.
We have been in contact with the Member of Parliament for South Abaco, and we have works being scoped and currently being quantified for some of the keys with respect to roads and docks.
Coming up in the news, a young Bahamian investing in family entertainment. That story and more when the Bahamas Tonight at the Northern Edition continues.
Way for new inventory. Dolly Madison Home Center is slashing prices on all Whirlpool and GE refrigerators. Dolly's got the perfect Whirlpool and GE refrigerator, discounted to suit your needs. You asked for it, you've got it. A new plant nursery, fully loaded with everything you need and extended hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Visit Island Care Pharmacy on Explorers Way, next to Tico's Clothing Store. They offer the best in pharmaceutical health care and medical supplies. Take advantage of their medical discount plan today. Island Care Pharmacy. Phone 602-0932.
I saw at the march was very, very good. Today we're celebrating 61 years, Doris Johnson, what she did to promote women to bring us to this stage to where we are today.
Seeing the little girls was the coolest part to me because, you know, that's our future.
I actually thought it was amazing to see so many females come on and support one another. It makes me know that, you know, we have actually grown. I know where we came from, and I know we have to go further.
A woman's march, that is something that's very different, so I really liked it, and I feel like it's a great turnout for being the first one.
I feel good. I'm proud to be a woman in this Bahama land.
I am so proud to be a woman in the Bahamas.
Chances we're the one you can trust. Oh yeah, better than the rest. We already passed the test. Cause chances we're the one you can trust. We make sure when you win, we pay you right away. No piece of money and no need to come back another day. Sure when you win, you get all your money one time. That's how we do it. You leave with every dime. Cause chances is the one you can trust.
Chances reminds you that game response. Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. A new family entertainment center is coming to Grand Bahama very soon. The founder of the center, who says this new investment will not only enhance nightlife on the island, but also generate opportunities for the average Bahamian. Here's that report.
Hey everyone, my name is Bernard Sweeting. I'm 29 years old, and I was born and raised here on the island of Grand Bahama.
That is the viral TikTok video of Keyplex Entertainment Center's founder, Bernard Sweeting, introducing his new plans to enhance nightlife on Grand Bahama. He says his passion for this predates Hurricane Dorian and the COVID-19 pandemic, where he used movies as an outlet during an incredibly rough childhood.
We grew up, you know, pretty much poor. And the only thing I had at that time to sustain me was my faith, computers, and the movies.
The family-friendly center will be built in 2 phases. The first, an outdoor VIP movie experience with a drive-in component. And the second, which will be built in 3.5 years after the first phase, will consist of the movie theater, bowling alley, and restaurant. It is expected to bring a unique experience Grand Bahama needs.
That creates a whole new realm of what so many Bahamians desire to do, is have ownership in the things and the community around them. And so that's going to be another phase that's coming up very, very soon. Can't speak too much on it at this particular time, but when it's out, you're not going to be able to avoid it.
Sweeting expresses that God placed this vision in his heart and sends encouragement to those on Grand Bahama.
The days where you feel like giving up on your idea, passion is key. You must first have the passion for what it is that you want to go ahead and do first. Then that's going to be the thing that keeps you on the days when things are really, really tough.
Keyplex Entertainment Center will be located about 5 to 10 minutes walking distance from Port Lacaya, and Sweeting says the groundbreaking is expected to take place sometime in the 3rd quarter of this year. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Azra Quant.
Well, there are some new Defense Force Rangers in town, and they are excited. Over the weekend, some 90 Rangers passed out, pledging to be responsible, diligent, disciplined, and determined. Our Aja Quant was there and has more in this report.
Some 90 Rangers passed out of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force ceremony. Discipline, dedication, and determination are all what the Rangers should abide by. Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, in attendance, extending encouraging words to those young persons.
I just wanted to say how much and how proud we are of these young men and women. I believe they deserve a rousing round of applause. Too often you hear of our young people, you know, not following the right path, not doing the right things, but they are here today and they are examples of what we want to see in our young people.
Commander of the Defense Force, Commodore Dr. Raymond King, also on hand for the ceremony, who says he is quite pleased with the efforts of the force helping young persons to be responsible citizens of society.
That helps with mitigating
persons from being attracted to gang-related activity, and to break that cycle of crime and violence being gang-related. We're always excited when parents entrust their children to be a part of our program because it's focused on discipline.
Rangers, a part of the program for several years, say they have taken away so much from it and know that the new Rangers will do the same.
We learned core values, and those core values not only can be used in Rangers, but they could be used in life and help you go through life to be successful.
I learned some values, some core values. Teach us how to be disciplined and honest, how to walk away from situations and not be rude to our parents.
Commodore Dr. Raymond King says the nation's capital also installed 300 Rangers and expects a number of successful installations to occur throughout the country very soon. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Azra Quant.
Well, you know, they say you are never too old to learn, and there is a group of seniors who have gone out of their way to prove that they haven't forgotten what they've learned many moons ago. The group participated in a spelling competition. Our intern, Wes Calix, has the results.
Concerned about the intellectual stimulation of seniors since 2015, Chairperson Vernell Thurston shares that with age come different disabilities, but they wanted to keep the seniors in the limelight and active.
What is interesting is we have persons as old as 80. I think the oldest person this year is 81. In the past, I think it was 2016, we had an 82-year-old lady. And she gave the younger persons a run for their money. She was in the finals. She did extremely well. What I love about it, though, is the whole camaraderie, the competition, it brings a whole different atmosphere for seniors, and it helps seniors to enjoy being in Grand Bahama because they always have something to look forward to.
For me, it was exciting. It was being able to do something at my age and thinking, hey, I'm not too old for this. I can do this also. And, you know, I would say to other persons, other seniors, don't give up before you try. Try, and you may be surprised at what you can do, even at a senior's age, you know.
After 22 fierce rounds, Patsy Roll Johnson finished third. Second place went to Stephanie Small, and the champion of the 2023 Seniors Spelling Bee winner was Evie Cartwright.
It was great. I was excited from the time someone sent it to me on WhatsApp. I say, wow, I'm going to do this because I love spelling. So I'm going to do my best today, and I know God will do the rest. Are you never too old to do what you want to do? Be happy about it, test your skills, and go for it.
The word that determined the 2023 winner was unconscious. For the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition, I'm intern Wes Calix.
It's now time for your check on sports with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to another exciting edition of sports right here in the North. Of course, I have a whole lot of highlights and updates for you, Bahama Games baseball, but let's begin with some triathlon highlights. Fresh from winning the 2023 Port Cake Man Triathlon, 15-year-old Grand Bahamian Lonnie Duncombe came back to win the Triathlon National Championships in New Providence in grand style.
I executed all of the phases correctly. I did it to the best of my ability, and I felt like there's stuff I could work on, but I did do good in my opinion. It was good competition. The main person I was scared of was my teammate because of his swimming, but I knew that if I could just pace myself right and come out not too far behind him in the water, that I could pass him and hold a good pace for me to win.
He came out of the water first. I was expecting to come out second because of the other athlete that was there. I know is a very strong swimmer. But once he came out of the water, his transition period, I mean, it was extremely short. He was in and out, and thanks to Coach Celia, who taught him transitions. And when he went on the bike, it was all over.
Switching gears now in sports, the Bahama Games is scheduled for July 7th through the 15th in the nation's capital.
The Bahama Games is going quite well. We have been able to strengthen our LOC in the Secretariat. You're seeing commercials and ads are beginning to go. You're going to see billboards going up as of Monday. We're going to be making the rounds of the islands with the baton. We want to make sure that these games help unite us again as a country as we move towards our 50th anniversary. We want the Bahamians to come together through the various sporting disciplines and understand we are one people united in love and service, moving forward, upward, onward together as a country.
And finally in sports, Little League Baseball Championships will play this week at the Emera Baseball Park. Bahama Rock Red Sox will play against Fortune 360 in minor league play. The Royals will go up against the Lions in major league action, and the Bucks will play the Lions in coach pitch. And that's your quick check on sports, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
Stepping Out in Faith Global Ministries presents Supernatural Now Awakening 2023 with Bishop Anthony and Apostle Sharon Johnson, May 18th through 20th, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the Grand Lucayan Resort. Seats are limited.
Saturday, May 20th, it's a day of celebration for the entire family. Celebrate our independence with a beach retreat at the GB Sports Complex beginning at 12:30 under the patronage of the Honorable Ginger Moxie MP and Minister for Grand Bahama.
Hey y'all, this is your girl Nishi LS, aka Miss Loose Me, and May 28th is all about the best of the best, all Bahamian concert held in West End, Grand Bahama. I want to see you guys on the commissioner's field because yours truly will be performing live, and so you guys don't want to miss this one. I want to see all of y'all in the place. May 28th, see you there.
Meet David Ferguson.
So the Bible Range was complimentary because several things. It was formative in that it allowed me to think critically as to how I study best. This is supposed to be an intellectual experience that you enjoy. Yes, it's a competition, but when you look back at it, you don't want to be so focused on the competitive aspect of this that you miss the intellectual engagement, stimulation, and development that you can gain from this. This should give you a skill or help you learn more about yourself so that you take that with you as you progress in your career and start your university studies.
We all need to save time, gas, and money. Shopping at Save More can help you do just that. Make us your first stop for all your prescription needs and medical supplies. Get all your health and beauty items at the same time. And don't miss our huge choice of snacks to satisfy your cravings. And the largest vitamin selection and over-the-counter relief products. Need diapers and other baby care items? First stop. The new section for makeovers, cosmetics, and beautiful jewelry will make you sparkle for that next special event. Save More Drugs, your more store.
And culture, wicked straight choke canoe, fishing and sailing, just to name a few, free from bondage. That was our heritage. Our nation isn't perfect, there is more work to be done. Forward, upward, and onward towards the rising sun. Yes, we should be proud. It's time to say it loud. Oh, drop your flag, wave it from side to side. Our gold and black represents your pride. Lift your head and say, I'm a proud Bahamian.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Pastor Abner Muse, you are our Facebook friend of the day, and we want to wish you a special happy birthday to you. And we also must say a very happy birthday to our very own Keith Six Taylor, Senior Supervisor for Radio. We hope you're having a blast. We didn't see you today, so you probably did. Well, that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight is coming your way next.
Coming up
up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report striking a 50-50 deal. Building new relations, fortifying old ones. Alleged murderers on the loose. And in sports, tribute paid to boxing legend. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
ZNS News is linked up by BTC. Whether it's chatting, gaming, content creating, or working smart to get things done, link up to stay connected with BTC.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lopinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. It's what the Bahamas has long been known for, beautiful blue waters, at the bottom of which lies a trove of national treasures. The Davis administration, though, wants to implement new regulations to ensure that that treasure is not pirated or removed without proper law enforcement mechanisms in place for recovery and preservation. And making that happen calls for an amendment to the Antiquities, Monuments and Museum Act. Aldovise Munnings picks up the story from here.
Good evening, Makushla, and good evening, Bahamas. We can tell you that the Bahamas is known as the largest Atlantic world archipelago, and our waters hold an amazing and vast treasure cove envied by the world. It's that underwater cultural heritage that the Davis administration wants to preserve and protect for Bahamians only through an amendment to the Antiquities, Monuments and Museums Act.
Our cultural heritage isn't confined to the borders of our islands. Its significance ripples out far and wide across the globe. This is why it is so crucial that we, the government of the Bahamas, exercise firm control over its management. Secondly, to strengthen our management and oversight capabilities, we need to invest in our people. We need to provide them with the training and the tools they need to carry out this important work. Thirdly, we have updated the licensing fees to expedite the review process and to effectively monitor the recovery and conservation efforts of our precious artifacts. This is not just about funding, it's about making sure that every step of the process is transparent and accountable.
Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honourable Philip Davis, confirmed in his parliamentary contribution Wednesday the updated amendment will enable a 50-50 split of recovered artifacts found in Bahamian waters between the AMMC and government. Government will also get first preference in selecting a share of recovered artifacts, and regulation power will also be granted to prescribe the maximum period for the granting of a particular license. Now, you can just watch YouTube to see how international divers frequently visit Andros, the place where the most blue holes in the country are found.
Through the process of time, through passage connected to oceans, it is possible that any number of treasures may be found in as yet discovered blue holes. Therefore, Mr. Deputy, this Davis administration is also recommending that the licensed area be limited to 25 square nautical miles and restricted to specific coordinates.
Carmichael MP, the Honourable Keith Bell, cited the estimated billions in treasures of the 1656 Maravilla shipwreck off Grand Bahama. He also used his parliamentary seat to put the former administration to task for their handling of an underwater license reportedly issued in 2019.
What research was undertaken prior to issuing the license to a known treasure site? What were the considerations that resulted in one applicant receiving preference over the other applicants? What was the reason for ending the moratorium, and why did he, or rather, they failed to advise the public for more than 2 years that this license was issued and recovery was underway?
And according to Prime Minister Davis, 3 new archaeologists have been hired at the Antiquities, Monuments and Museums Corporation, and a conservation laboratory will be mounted to ensure that the government's 75% share of recovered artifacts are properly conserved. Reporting live in studio for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Aldovise Munnings. Back to you, Makushla.
Thanks, Altafis. Well, Centerville MP Jomo Campbell using his contribution to proposed amendments to the Antiquities, Monuments and Museum Act to speak to next week's grand opening of the multi-million-dollar Nassau cruise port, the gateway to a much more vibrant city of Nassau. While Campbell agrees Nassau must have a port that complements its tourism product, he has some reservations.
We must remain concerned that certain tourist attractions in the downtown area will receive less visitor traffic and as a result may die a slow and painful death. We must do everything we can to ensure that this does not happen. For example, Madam Speaker, as pointed out to me by many of my constituents who work in the straw market, straw vendors have been selling products in Rawson Square since 1950s. The straw market and several straw market vendors have played significant roles in our nation's history. Yes. While we can all agree that there are perhaps some improvements needed to the straw market, I truly hope that straw vendors see an increase in business and not a decline. I also hope that the opening of the Nassau Cruise Port will galvanize many of the owners of buildings in the downtown area to renovate and clean up their premises.
While speaking directly to the bill, Campbell noted that stories of swashbuckling pirates, buried treasure, and ancient shipwrecks are part of the country's rich history. Today, a bit of it still is, as each year, he says, there are explorers, researchers, and others who seek permission who set out to find artifacts, coins, and priceless jewels in Bahamian waters. The problem arises when treasure is found.
Considering the staggering amounts of money that have been associated with the value of treasure buried in our waters or on ships that sank in our waters, it is only fair that any proceeds of treasure discovered be shared with the owners of the property where it was found. That is, the Bahamian people.
Supporting proposed amendments to the Antiquities, Monuments and Museums Act, St. Barnabas MP Shannon Dawn Cartwright leading off the FNMs contribution to today's debate.
I'm always fascinated when, I'm watching television and you see these different documentaries on persons, whether it be on the Discovery Channel, National Geographic, and these persons, they have these documentaries, how they're in the Bahamas looking at this and looking at that. And I always ask myself, I wonder if we are going to benefit from this particular discovery, even in its preliminary stage.
Well, the bill passed this afternoon is now on to the Senate. In other news, the robust recovery of the Bahamian economy sustained in 2022, according to the central bank's annual report released earlier this week. That recovery underpinned by a further rebound in tourism and steady stimulus from foreign direct investments. However, domestic price pressures increased, mirroring the effects from higher global oil prices and elevated cost of imported goods. The fiscal deficit narrowed significantly in fiscal year 2021-2022, given the strong recovery in value-added tax collections, which led the revenue boost and outpaced the rise in total spending. During the first half of the 2022-2023 fiscal year, the deficit decreased as the revenue rebound continued. In the financial sector, both bank liquidity and external reserves grew in 2022 as the credit expansion trailed the corresponding gains in deposits. Now, we'll have more details to come in a later newscast. The Bahamas and Ghana laying a foundation to benefit from untapped trade and investment opportunities during a one-day summit here in the capital. Fern Kerry has the story.
Addressing the trade summit, Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honourable Philip Davis Casey, cited the enduring ties between the Bahamas and Ghana, which dates back 400 years to the colonial era. The nation's chief also noted the shared history between that West African nation and the Bahamas, which he believes provides the perfect opportunity for both sides to bolster trade and investment opportunities while exploring inter-regional growth and development.
The bank has also indicated that following upon the opening of a regional office it envisions committing an investment of $700 million in the Caribbean Development Bank. Now, that's quite apart from making available up to $3 billion. Now 1.5 is committed. As soon as I get 2 of the other countries to sign on to the Memorandum of Understanding, that $1.5 billion that's already been committed will expand to $3 billion from that bank. Such a significant capital inflow promises to unlock crucial socio-economic benefits for our region.
Ghana's Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration noted that Ghana, which is pretty much located at the center of the world, can be the Bahamas' gateway to the African continent by providing an entry point to the free trade market. In turn, the Bahamas can be Ghana's gateway to the Caribbean.
I must emphasize that Ghana is open for business, and we are ready to engage the business community in the Bahamas to forge mutually beneficial cooperation. The destination of investment in Africa has always been Ghana, as it allows for easy access to every part of the continent. Another reason for the choice of Ghana as the preferred destination for investment in Africa is the stable political environment.
In the months ahead, Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Jinda Moxie, will also be leading a trade mission to Ghana and other African countries.
I will also lead a delegation to officially sign a sister city agreement with Pockesu, Princestown, in Ahanta, West Ghana, municipality region, and the city of Nassau, Bahamas. This will be the first African sister city relationship based on historical research that links ancestry to the Ahanta region.
Now, the Prime Minister also indicated that talks are underway to facilitate visa-free travel between the Bahamas and Ghana. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Kerry.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet's so fast, I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet's so fast, I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles done cooking.
Mine's so fast, when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine's so fast, when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
When it's so fast, I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC. From the experts that created the Kentucky Chicken Sandwich comes the crispy barbecue sandwich. Bacon, cheddar cheese, crispy onions, and the most delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken. Get ready for a whole new level of flavor. KFC. It's finger-licking good.
Hey, Mom, can you look after Kaylee?
Sorry, I'll be out for a while dealing with my home and car insurance.
What? You know there's a newer way, right?
A new way?
Where have you been? Look, go to newerinsurance.com, log in, get your quote, buy your insurance, done. You can even use it to manage a claim.
Oh? By the way, it's not newer. It's NUA. Where's she been?
Do it anyway with NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers.
This segment of the news is brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/gear up for an RBC auto loan.
Promotions in the public service set to begin in the summer. That after legislators passed the 2023-2024 budget. Minister of State for the Public Service, the Honorable Pia Glover Rowe, explains.
Put out a call for the service-wide that has not happened in over 10 years. That is something that we're being proactive on. It's important that we manage these processes. But then we need to start the preliminary work. So we've put out a call circular to ask ministries to send in their recommendations. Again, public service works from recommendations, from a place of recommendations. So we have put out a call for ministries to send in their recommendations. We are cross-checking any recommendations that come into the public service with a nominal register, and that is to ensure that no one is left out.
The government again clarifying its decision to stop medical insurance for families of law enforcement personnel when the new budget takes effect July 1st. Free National Movement Deputy Leader and Member of Parliament for St. Barnabas, Shannon Dawn Cartwright, raising the issue in the House of Assembly this morning.
Persons who are now enlisted are just as concerned about the fact that the policy, the new decision, a new policy, will not come into effect until July. Because how do we say to persons who think about the sacrifice of entering the security branches, all right, that, yeah, enter the security branches, we are not going to protect you and your families.
National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Munro, adamant that any characterization that law enforcement benefits are being cut, is inaccurate. He says he's been inundated with inquiries as to the date for the next police and defense forces and correctional services recruitment exercises, and not one individual has expressed concern about the matter.
When the recruitment exercises begin at the end of this year, young people seeking to sign up will be told quite clearly what the benefits that they receive are. And it will be that we will ensure you who put your life on the line. As a matter of fact, the only change is that with the coming of NHI, we will not be covering your family. The member spoke about police officers who entertain trauma. When I took the chair, a circumstance was that a police involved in a police-involved shooting was returned to duty the next shift. I certainly have given directions that that ought not to happen for mental health reasons. We've stepped up the chaplaincy services across all of the forces. With regard a serviceman taking something back home to his or her family, insurance would not be the answer to that. What would be the answer to that is liability of the Bahamas government, not only for medical treatment, but for damages for pain, suffering, and loss of amenity.
Now to news from the police this evening. Wanted posters issued for 3 alleged murderers who are on the loose. One of the accused, Michael Johnson, who also answers to the name Michael Myers. The 32-year-old's last known address listed as King Street. His complexion medium brown. His height and build, however, are unknown. The hunt also on for 26-year-old Tamiko Coakley, alias Miko, a resident of Maycock Street. Police say he's dark-skinned. Again, no information given for his height or build. Rounding up the trio, 28-year-old Trevino Clark, a.k.a. Bordermaw, a medium brown Hay Street resident who stands between 5'5" and 5'7" inches tall and whose build is listed as medium. Any information regarding Michael Johnson, Tamiko Coakley, or Trevino Clark should be forwarded to the Central Detective Unit or the nearest police station. Well, anger management, very much a problem among the youth, as evidenced during a recent after-school stabbing between students off campus. The matter, now the focus of a police investigation, as Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin confirmed to reporters outside the House of Assembly this morning.
One of the issues is the use of social media. This is a major challenge, and it's a lot of sort of vexatious interactions that are happening. I think during the pandemic it became more established, and it has continued now that schools are open. But we will continue to resist it. We are trying every effort to ensure that we are able to facilitate safety on the campuses. This was off campus. And so the police are managing it now. They're dealing with it, and we will wait to get their report. But certainly, you know, on the school campus, we seek to ensure safety as best we can. This requires a large effort. This is not a one-dimensional thing of the Ministry of Education, the teachers, the principal. You know, this is something, particularly because it was off campus. This is something that requires all hands on deck.
Meantime, an uptick in crime in southern New Providence prompting the Bahamas Neighborhood Watch Council and Urban Renewal to conduct a walkabout. Carla Palmer tells us more about continued efforts to keep communities safe.
After a recent spike in home break-ins, authorities were out canvassing areas like Pastel Gardens with a view to alerting, informing and educating residents of ways in which to remain safe. Chief Superintendent of Police in charge of the Southwestern District, Mark Barrett, says this community partnership is critical in mitigating crimes, many committed by youngsters in this area.
What we are doing, we are identifying at-risk youth in the community so that we can involve them in a holistic program. In most cases, these individuals come in contact with the police, whether from the schools in the division and or those who were involved in some form of criminality. And so these are the individuals that we are somewhat targeting so that we can get them involved in the program.
According to Barrett, domestic disputes are also a concern.
Within this particular division, there is a lot of domestic-related matters that are being brought to the police attention. And so we want to address these concerns also and sensitize people to the awareness of domestic-related issues and then confront them head on. And I believe if we do that, then we could somewhat mitigate the level of criminality that we are presently experiencing.
Representatives from Urban Renewal and the National Neighborhood Watch Program also participated in the walkabout, seeking the support of residents in creating a crime watch community in Pastel Gardens. Residents are also encouraged to be their neighbor's keeper. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
Well, 4 years and counting. One local resident says after tapping into the potentials of backyard farming just before the pandemic, he has seen an immediate return on investment, which has not only paid off in securing food for his family, but in creating an income stream which doesn't require him to leave his home. Lloyd Allen has more.
This model plant bed here at the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation is considered ideal for many hoping to start up their own backyard farm. And while all growers may not be able to set up shop like this, some have simply decided to go head first, making it an organic experience.
You know, the price of food, chickens, eggs, mutton, goat meat, you know, skyrocketing.
Domingo Heights resident Oliver Mackey broke soil, so to speak, about 4 years ago, embracing the idea of backyard farming to ease the financial burden on his family.
During the pandemic, I started to take it up full time, producing eggs, small amounts of chicken meat, and mutton. And like I said, if I could help, it helps with the rent, the light bill, you know, school fees, gas for the car, stuff like that.
Mackey says although his property is not massive, he has maximized the space, tilling the soil and embracing the agrarian lifestyle.
I have goats, what we call isobrowns. They're layers. I can get one egg per day from each chicken. Usually I get about 3 or 4 dozen eggs a day. It's a small scale. Mutton, when the kids are weaned at 3 months, I can sell them to other farmers or, you know, to help enriching their livestock. Or when time is ready, I can, you know, slaughter them and have mutton.
Now, apart from animals, this small-scale farmer grows a selection of greens.
In the garden now, I had papayas, tomatoes, hot peppers, onions, strawberries, 3 different types of bananas, plantains, coconuts, from which I make coconut oil.
And assisting with daily operations and security are some 4-legged friends.
I have an Egyptian Pharaoh's Hound mix that I got from the Humane Society. Usually when I go in the bush, sometimes I carry the goats out, put them in the bush, If I leave them there for a second, my feral hound will sniff them out. You know, I need to find them. And then I have two catch dogs.
Mackey says he remains thankful for the national push toward food security and growing Bahamian, and wishes to use his experience to encourage others to tap into subsistence farming and living. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Great story there, Lloyd. The National Report returns in a moment. Stay with us.
This portion of the news is being brought to you by the 50th Independence Secretariat. Go to their website, celebrate-bahamas.com, or their Facebook page, Celebrate Bahamas, to see the schedule of exciting events.
The National Independence Secretariat recently hosted a 50th Independence Jubilee Day production that brought together the best of Bahamian arts and culture, held at the historic Southern Recreation Grounds, where generations of Bahamians gathered to fight for fair labor conditions, majority rule, and independence. The night's event featured a range of talented artisans, showcasing our story through dramatic prose, music, and dance. And the festivities didn't stop there. With a diverse array of Bahamian vendors on hand, providing delicious food and refreshing drinks, the crowd was energized and ready to celebrate our beloved nation's journey to independence. But this is just the beginning. There are even more exciting events and celebrations to come as we continue on our road to 50 years of independence. So join the beat and visit celebrate-bahamas.com to stay up to date on all the latest news and events.
Tourism today, Bahamas Tourism today.
Travel and Leisure Cruise Summit is chosen the Bahamas to host. We are quite pleased. Here in the Bahamas, as we're hosting this, we're highlighting what it is for the vacationers to come and see, the cruise ship multi-destination tours. We're highlighting our brand new Nassau Cruise Port and the authentic Bahamian experience it offers, as well as the Carnival Cruise Port in Grand Bahama, the Calypso Cruise Port in Long Island, and we have some mini cruise ships that are now doing family island destinations. So as they are here, they're going to be speaking about how to sell more cruises and turn potential clients into customers. And we want to make sure that they have full knowledge and awareness of what it is to cruise through the Bahamas. It is important to highlight all those and the ease of coming to the Bahamas on a cruise. So working with partners like Travel and Leisure and our other cruise executives, it's important for the development and increasing the cruise passenger numbers in the Bahamas. And it's also important for us to know what their clients are wanting so that we could offer attractions, expeditions, and experiences that go along with those trends.
Every day in May includes great specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets, including Cardinal Evaporated Milk, 14 ounce, $1.19. Sawyer's Mayonnaise, 30 ounce, $6.99. Coca-Cola Sodas, 6-pack, 12 ounce, $3.59. Sweet Strawberries, 1 pound, $5.99. Boneless chicken breast, $2.99 per pound. Donate your change to help feed the Humane Society animals at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Spring is here and Easter is right around the corner. Thinking about moving forward with your personal goals that require money? Fidelity Bank can get you approved in no time without the red tape and the runaround. Fidelity offers competitive interest rates and minimal fees. The loan that you need and can afford is just a phone call away.
family guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family, join the family, family guardian. Protect the ones you love, a friend that you can trust. Family guardian.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, junkanoo, and festivals, and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
The 2023 Bahamas Carnival weekend now just days off, and already organizers are predicting even larger numbers of participants. But even before the big event on Saturday, Jade Knowles from Palantra Media says a number of spin-off events will take place leading up to the Road March.
So we have a party happening, or what we call a fete, happening on Thursday night, which we call Hard Fete at Waterloo. And then we have the Rising Stars competition and Battle of the Bands with high schoolers and adult bands happening on Friday. And this is at the National Stadium, the old Carnival grounds. We also have artists coming in this weekend to perform. Friday night we have Bungie Garland and Fayan Lyons. We have Teddyson John, we have Father Fox. And on Saturday we have Kes the Band. We have Buju Banton coming, and our own Bahamian artists, Wendy, Patrice Morel, D-Mac. And Sunday we close it off with a cool effect that's happening at Arawaki Beach.
Well, there are a number of parties planned for the 4-day weekend as well.
Bringing 3 different parties at one event. So you pay one price to get inside, and you can decide whether or not you want to just go at the Guinness Reggae stage, or if you want to go to the BTC Foam Pit, or if you want to stay to the main stage and experience it all. But I would love to push Friday, because that's our very own Bahamian artists who have been in a song competition where many entered, and only we're now down to the final 7. And they actually, if the winner, will win $10,000, and they get to record a song with an international artist.
And as momentum builds for this year's Carnival, reggae dancehall sensation Buju Banton is set to hit the stage Saturday at Clifford Park. The artist today making an appearance at the Mullet Marathon with a promise to wow spectators.
A whole lot of fun, entertainment, and upliftment for the masses, you know. The Bahamian people have been tremendously kind to me over the years, and I'm happy to be invited this year to be a part of your carnival, to be a part of the fusion mixing of the reggae music with the soca and the hip-hop and all that kind of stuff. It's good, and I'm happy to be here to be playing again inside the National Stadium. Is also a joy, and further to see the people and to connect with them. There's no greater feeling than that. You know, we're one family, and as a son of the Caribbean, I'm honored to be here.
Well, said to be a regular visitor here, Buju shared some of his favorite parts of Bahamian culture.
I enjoy the food, yes. I enjoy the culture, and the beaches are extremely beautiful. The people, most importantly, a place is always going to be a place, but without the inhabitants, the people of Bahamas have always been supportive to Buju Banton and this music. They've opened not only your hearts, but your country's doors to me at every interval and every chance. When I seek to come into your country, I've never been rebuffed. To be invited to be a part of your carnival is something great for us. I mean, it's not something that we should look on with this day, because that then we could take the approach and say, why invite the people from the Bahamas and put on Trinidad and all these other countries to be a part of reggae music? We cannot use this divisive approach no longer, because it will foster greater unity in the region with our Commonwealth brothers and sisters. And whatever divide us need to go, whatever unite us need to be fostered.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Man, look yo. I want all you guys to come out. I'm excited to be on this show. I want all you folks and fans to come out and see what we have to offer, you know, our presentation of culture and the way we do our music. So we want to see your face in the place, like I always say, and we're going to have a great time, all right? Bahamian music is where it's at. Keeping the vibe alive is what it's all about. I mean, when you compare the past, we have a lot more young people now getting involved in rake and scrape, you know. When we toured islands, before you used to see a lot of folks from a certain age category. Now we see young people digging on it, man, so definitely we're doing the right thing, I think. Smokey 007, Tony McKay, and Ronnie Butler. These were the guys that influenced me when I started out and I decided to do Bahamian music. They were the ones that you know, stuck out and like influenced me. But I do all genres, but you know, Bahamian music is me. And like, just like any other country or any other citizen want to push their music, we have our own brand of music. That's what I'm all about. Because radio is the instrument that we use to push the music, so and people listen to radio. So radio makes or breaks our music. So radio is a very important tool in pushing Bahamian music. And I want to thank you guys over the years for supporting me in my music.
This is the super versatile Ring stick-up cam. It goes indoors, outdoors, outdoors in the rain. It's got two-way talk. Hey, Eddie. Works with Alexa. Comes in tons of power options and works with Ring Alarm to start recording automatically if something's going on. Seriously? Seriously. So start protecting your home with the easy installing indoor-outdoor stick-up cam by Ring.
Have you ever purchased a defective item and was denied an exchange or cash refund? Contact the Consumer Protection Commission at 393-7795-8 or our 24-hour complaints hotline at 357-7898 and let us help your voice be heard.
Hey, get up, stand up for your right.
When we started Stormframe Windows in 1999, we wanted to fabricate an impact-rated product to compete with the Florida market, and we've done this. There's no fabricator or vendor from Florida that can do what we can in the Bahamas. Because we fabricate locally and we're a local-based company, we have the capability to provide better customer service than our competitors. With all the worldwide supply chain issues, we at Stormframe have improved our fabrication process and have invested in stock to be able to produce our orders in 4 weeks. We also keep in stock over 400 windows and doors at standard sizes for walk-in customers to purchase. Our professional sales staff is here to assist you with the complete purchase and installation. We also service and ship to the out outlets.
Thank you for your support, Bahamas.
Thank you for your support, Bahamas.
BPL consumers in Acklands will soon get some relief as Utilities Minister, the Honourable Alfred Sayers, says another generator is on the way. This considering residents have been without power supply now for several days, with BPL citing mechanical failure with the engines at the Spring Point station. Sayers says while troubleshooting proved fruitless, BPL executives decided to send one of the backup generators from New Providence until repairs are completed.
I am advised by tomorrow morning the boat will be in Acklands, and in the interim there is a team complemented with colleagues from M&E at BPL in Nassau in Acklands working to repair. So we have taken every measure and worked as aggressively as we could, even in consultation with the Defense Force, to get the appropriate vessel to carry the generator and also the crane so that it could be put in place at the Spring Point station.
Well, on a lighter note, it's an event that brings sailors and family islanders together annually. This year's Mangrove Key Regatta showcasing the best of what Andros has to offer. Desmond Saunders has more.
The Mangrove Key Andros community buzzing with lots of activity over the weekend. The Mangrove Key Andros Mother's Day Regatta attracting scores of sailors and socializers. The annual festive event filled with fun, food, and entertainment as top acts took the stage. Avid boaters took to the high seas. Member of Parliament for Mangrove Key Andros, Leon Lundy.
What I've seen this year, the big difference is we had a lot of young people that came down for the homecoming. They came back home, a lot of them from college. We actually have our college Division I player that came down. Actually, Mr. Kendrick King, he came back down here, Frederick King. So we love how everybody's coming back home and just embracing what's going on.
Sailing at the core of the Bahamian spirit in this Mangrove Key Regatta showcasing the best of the national sport. Avid regatta sportsman and consultant Reverend Philip McPhee.
Right on this occasion in itself, thousands of dollars will be deposited here in Mangrove Key.
The annual venue providing a big boost for that island's economy. Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Chester Cooper, and Principal of the Mangrove Key High School, Carolyn Thompson, deems the event significant.
And I guess post-pandemic, persons are more comfortable coming. So the crowd is, wow. I understand persons have returned home who have not been here for a while. And so that is good. So it's a time of reunion and fun.
The people here are excited about this. Regattas are important for the communities across the islands of the Bahamas. It's good for homecomings. People from these communities come back. They spend money. They support the economy of the local communities. But most importantly, they come and they revisit their heritage. They remember where they've come from. I was impressed today. I see a group of 60 teachers who've come from Nassau to be here. This is what we encourage when it comes to domestic tourism.
Desmond Saunders of Bahamas Tonight.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Lakeisha. Partly cloudy skies. Temperature a warm 82 degrees. The relative humidity at 68%. We have winds out of the north at 8 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,011.6 millibars. That's 29.93 inches, and the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the Family Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 84 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Green Key and Abaco, Marshall Abaco at 82 degrees, Berry Islands 82 as well, Alistown Bimini 85, 82 degrees in Harbor Island, Roxanne, Lutra, Black Point, Exuma, and Camp Space on Andros at 84, Fresh Creek, Central Andros at 86 degrees, 81s in Otterson, Kid Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key. Georgetown, Exuma, 83, 82s in Rygat Island, Clarence, Long Island, and Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Magona, 83, Acklands, 83, Matitown, and 84, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 83 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of F5P, the Top King, and the Paint Center. For all areas tonight through Friday, those winds going to remain light and variable with very flat seas at 1 to 3 feet. A low tide, that will take place at 1:40 in the morning. A high tide will occur at 7:30 tomorrow morning. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, the extended weather forecast is still ahead.
If you've got termites and need to get rid of them fast, trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
With the help of our authorized financial institutions, or AFIs, using sand dollars is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Step 1.
Identify your preferred AFI by browsing their websites or contacting them directly. Step 2. Download the free mobile application from Google Play or the Apple Store and then register for a Sand Dollar account. Step 3. Load money onto your mobile app and begin sending and receiving Sand Dollars or purchasing and selling goods and services.
We are pleased to be
your central bank approved
digital wallet providers. It does not matter
which of us you choose.
You can pay for goods and services
wherever Sand Dollar is accepted.
We are all in this together.
Visit sanddollar.bs for more information.
Have you been denied a U.S. visa and don't understand why? Have you been turned away from the U.S. border without an explanation? Maybe you've had a prior arrest or conviction and you're not clear on how to move forward at this point. Call our office. We may be able to help. 954-449-1833.
If you've got termites and need to get rid of them fast, trust Rent-A-Kill Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rent-A-Kill Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rent-A-Kill Initial.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your ZNS Total Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles. Dozens of well-wishers and members of the local sporting fraternity gathered at the Kendall G. Lysick Gymnasium last night to pay tributes to Bahamian boxing legend Ray Minus Jr., a father, friend, and most certainly a giant of a man. Family, friends, and former adversaries of Bahamian boxing legend Ray Minus Jr. gathered at the Kendall G. Lysick Gymnasium last evening to pay their respects to a man who some may describe as the single most impactful figure in the sport here in the Bahamas. Minus Jr. passed away last month at the age of 58 after a battle with ALS. Outside of his in-ring accomplishments, Minus Jr. achieved so much more through his mentorship of hundreds of young men and women from inner-city communities, dozens offering tributes and speaking on his legacy, as well as his impact on the nation.
His commitment to boxing also led him to loading up his boxing gear in his SUV, going to the various parks and playgrounds in an effort to reach out to the youths. Additionally, every summer, he would put on summer boxing camps for kids, utilizing his own personal expenses.
A man who was a champion many times over. Ray Minus Jr., of course, the bantamweight champion of the Bahamas, the lightweight champion of the Bahamas, and the light welterweight champion of the Bahamas. On the world scene, he was the World Boxing Council, the WBC, Continental America's bantamweight champ. He was the World Boxing Association Intercontinental Super Bantamweight champion. And let's not forget, he was the Commonwealth Bantamweight champion.
And for those who Ray trained and introduced to the sport, his loss will surely be felt.
I started off boxing and I wanted to use coach tools for evil. But knowing the man that he was and the instructions he gave to me, he says, Jermaine, if you're going to be the best in the world, you have to be a good person. And he changed my whole world.
The official state-recognized funeral for Minus Jr. is set for this Friday at 10 a.m. at Kemp Road Ministries. That, of course, will be carried live on the ZNS Radio Network. Earlier this week, we reported that a number of martial artists gathered at the Baisong Institute this past weekend for a Kung Fu seminar that tried to teach its participants the concepts and fighting methods of the impulse defense. The Institute creating the 3-day workshop to highlight its 50th year of existence, coinciding with the country's Golden Jubilee. Among the participants, a female martial artist who spoke to the Zenith Total Sports team and offered this strong message to women and their need to acquire knowledge of self-defense.
Really important for women to really learn martial arts and self-defense, because we live in a world where every single morning we hear that something's happening to a woman, or some woman got shot, some woman got robbed, raped, or bothered, and their bodies ended up in the canal somewhere. If we do not practice self-defense, we cannot defend ourselves. No one in this real world will say, hey, I'm going to shoot you, I'm going to rob you, or hey, can I rape you? You have to come to the defense class to learn for yourself. We're not going to get pity hits, we're going to get hit. Not because you're a woman means that they're going to take it easy on you. You're just another person and another victim. We're here today because we're learning and we believe that we have to better ourselves and defend ourselves. So I advise every woman that wants to defend and protect themselves, join up with any defense class. Be prepared. Armor your body like a shield and a weapon.
Switching gears to college football news, well, his brother heard his name called and now plays on Sundays, and he's hoping to do the same. Bayman wide receiver Prince Strong showing flashes in spring for the Boise State Broncos. Prince, of course, the brother of Bayman NFL wide receiver Mike Strong. Prince, who was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school before committing to the Broncos. In their recent spring game, had 2 catches for 56 yards, including a 41-yard snag from quarterback Maddox Matson. In his senior season in high school, Strong finished with 33 receptions for 773 yards and 10 touchdowns. He also averaged 21 yards per catch and 80 yards receiving per game. Also ascending to the college ranks, Bayman tennis player Kaylee Kanuka receiving a college tennis scholarship to attend Seton Hill University. Kaylee's represented the Bahamas on numerous national teams as a top tennis junior, including the Billie Jean King Cup. Kanuka is graduating from Asheville in North Carolina, where the girls team recently won the North Carolina Independent School Athletic Association Championships. Kaylee was instrumental in the team claiming their first ever state championship in school history. And that was a look at your sports on this Wednesday. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
National Independence Secretariat recently hosted a 50th Independence Jubilee Day production that brought together the best of Bahamian arts and culture, held at the historic Southern Recreation Grounds, where generations of Bahamians gathered to fight for fair labor conditions, majority rule, and independence. The night's event featured a range of talented artisans, showcasing our story through dramatic prose, music, and dance. And the festivities didn't stop there. With a diverse array of Bahamian vendors on hand, providing delicious food and refreshing drinks, the crowd was energized and ready to celebrate our beloved nation's journey to independence. But this is just the beginning. There are even more exciting events and celebrations to come as we continue on our road to 50 years of independence. So join the beat and visit celebrate-bahamas.com to stay up to date on all the latest news and events.
May I have your attention, please? If you're looking to save, you're looking at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Rainbow corned beef, 12 ounce, $2.39. Par Excellence long grain rice, 5 pounds, $3.89. Hillendale eggs, extra large, 1 dozen, 2 for $5. Chicken drumsticks, 89 cents per pound. Fresh tomatoes, $1.69 per pound. Donate your change to the Humane Society animals at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
We are here in the time of need. There's no discrimination. The mission is to relieve the suffering. We volunteer, we deliver care. With donors and partners, we're always here to turn compassion into action. Protecting life and health with our training throughout the years. We empower to heal the world. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas. Community farming for food security. Climate programs suited for our island country. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas.
This message brought to you by the Bahamas Red Cross Society in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
What does disability look like? In a busy airport terminal, at the check-in counter, at security checkpoints, or even in baggage claim? Passengers with hidden disabilities often go unnoticed. Globally, 1 in 7 persons have some form of a disability. 80% of those disabilities are non-visible. In an airport environment, workers are often unaware of hidden physical, mental, or neurological disabilities that some passengers live with. This can lead to frustration and a less than ideal travel experience. So, how do we make the invisible more visible? At LPIA, we've implemented the Sunflower Lanyard program. The lanyards are visual cues for airport workers to immediately identify passengers who might need additional assistance. NAD is teaming up with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities and key stakeholders at LPIA to launch the internationally recognized initiative. We're joining more than 180 airports and 26 countries already in the program. NAD is the first organization in the Bahamas to recognize the Sunflower Initiative. It's a way to show our continued commitment to making LPIA a safe, welcoming, and inclusive airport for all. Passengers needing to secure a free Sunflower lanyard can email sunflower@nas.bs or call 1242-397-8600. For more information, visit www.nassauLPIA.com.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, weak high-pressure system across the Bahamas will support pockets of isolated showers in the afternoon, even thunderstorms possible as well. Tonight, though, we're looking at near clear skies with a low temperature of around 76 degrees. And tomorrow, partly sunny with a thunderstorm or two in spot in the afternoon due to those light winds and very warm temperatures. High temperature tomorrow getting up to about 86 degrees. And the extended weather forecast, pop-up showers and thunderstorms likely right into Friday. The weekend looks a lot better. Saturday, lots of sunshine in our forecast, and that will carry us into the early part of next week. Temperature-wise, though, we're keeping you in the mid to upper 80s during the daytime. Those nighttime temperatures are very uncomfortable. They're around the mid to upper 70s. Makisha.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news. and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.